Hey, I'm Steve Magnante here in Bogart, Georgia at the Tony Townley Collection, where about 100 special interest cars will be sold on October 24th and 25th, 2025 by Richmond Auctions. And something very special is this 1969 Camaro SS. Of course, the SS was the muscle version of the Camaro. Z28 was cool, Sport Coupe was cool, but the SS was the one with the big engine, 396, and in this case, a very special 396. So take a look at what makes this particular 396 so unusual. And there it is, the mighty 396 big block. This one's extra special. It's the 375 horsepower version with solid lifters, full bolt mains, big valve, big port heads, but more importantly, the cylinder heads of this are aluminum. This is one of 311 cars built with the L-89 package. And again, the standard iron heads on these are fairly hefty. Aluminum cuts that weight in about half. So these are less nose heavy than a regular iron head big block Camaro. With that said, the weight of this engine is similar to a small block, pretty much in the same ballpark. But again, 375 horsepower and a beautiful restoration of a beautiful example of a lightweight nose Camaro. Again, 311 people purchased this engine back in 1969. It's as good as it gets. And how beautiful is this? A very nice presentation. The houndstooth interior, which is an option. Of course, bucket seats were certainly an option. There weren't all bucket seats in Camaros. You could get a bench if you really wanted one, crazy but true. And of course, good to see the 4-speed. This is the Muncie transmission and shifter, an M21 Muncie. And again, the Muncie linkage and the handle right there, ordinary, used to seeing the word hearse, but on this case, it's Muncie, which is GM's division for transmissions. Chrome ball is correct for the Muncie shifter and transmission underneath it. And we see the tachometer reads up to 5,500 RPM. And again, 120 mile-an-hour speedometer. And again, beautifully presented. This fully restored car, but again, it's an L-89 aluminum head, 396, 375 horse vehicle, 4-speed transmission. Good to see that. Let's look inside the trunk and see what we find there. This is the D80 trunk spoiler here, which was an option, not standard. Of course, blacked out taillight panel here, standard equipment on big block powered super sports. And nicely presented with a fresh trunk mat and the correct spare tire and lifting the jack, the bumper jack as it were. And of course here we see that here's the warning for the positive traction differential. And this has a 12-bolt rear axle, the big dog, which is what you want with the big block. Came standard with the big block car. And it's a warning not to jack the car on one side with the other side on the tire on the ground, because the car could, if you put it in gear accidentally, it would drive off the jack and cause a problem. But anyway, nicely restored in here, and Zolatone on the horizontal and vertical surfaces, really well made. And G7014, that's the tire that would be installed at the assembly line. Guys would toss the spare tire in here. That was the word to put the correct size tire to match the rest, and that's what we have here. Correctly restored, all the small details present and accounted for. A lot of information with this car in this binder. Let's check it out. And here's the window sticker. The car was originally sold by Bill Jacobs Chevrolet in Joliet, Illinois. And all the options are here: floor mats, vinyl roof covering, of course center console, positive traction with 373, 42 bucks, well spent. 375 turbo hydromatic L78 and L79 aluminum heads right there. The money of that, $832 for the aluminum head 396. And again, money well spent if you're going drag racing. It takes a lot of the nose weight off of the car versus the iron heads. Pretty uncommon. 311 people paid that money for the aluminum head big block 396. Other details: auxiliary light group, Camaro equipment, custom interior, and a great looking car. And again, some documentation here that's very valuable in proving the car's history and provenance. Back it up with this. Here is the Protecto plate, this guy right here. And this is something you would have brought to the dealership, and it would sort of had like a credit card machine. And when you went in for service, they would run this through the machine, and it would print out what that you were there for service to maintain your warranty and be compliant with that. And again, we see that Eugene Crafts of Joliet, Illinois, purchased the car January 22nd, 1969. Must have been a great day for that fellow to enjoy the car, driving it off into the sunset. And here is the owner's manual right here, 1969 Camaro, Chevelle, and Nova, because one manual did the job for all three lines, but the data was similar inside. But again, here it is inside. And nice to see this documentation with the car. And again, 311 people paid the $800+ for the aluminum head big block under the hood of this one.